I want to ask you a question. Do you know what Anthem is? It's okay if you don't. A lot of people have probably already forgotten. In case you need a quick recap, it was a game that came out in early 2019, released by BioWare and EA. The game is a 4-player co-op looter-shooter that was designed from the ground up to compete with Destiny. It even has the same science fiction meets fantasy world building to it. However, this game did not compete with Destiny because the game kind of just failed to compete at all. Upon its release, it was panned by users and critics alike, and the sales numbers for the game were far below EA's expectations. Critics cited the lackluster storyline, game-breaking bugs, and really repetitive gameplay as being unenjoyable and uninspired.
It's a grindy generic shooter that not even jetpacks can save, but the brief trips to Storyland for elaborately animated character cutscenes hint at what BioWare would rather have been making.
Plays extremely stiff, extremely bland. It's so incredibly mind-numbingly fucking brain-dead to play that I couldn't do it.
And I just don't feel comfortable telling anybody to get it at anywhere near its normal price.
On top of all of this, there wasn't a lot of post-launch content for the game because BioWare was too busy trying to fix all the bugs that were eating the game from the inside out. And with no new content to keep people coming back and the product itself not being very good, the game essentially became a ghost town.
50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
An average video game would be dead at this point. But Anthem is not an average video game. Despite the terrible launch and full-on year of continued mediocrity, Anthem, out of nowhere, was going to be getting a rework. BioWare lead developer Casey Hudson said this earlier this February. Over the coming months, we will be focusing on a long-term redesign of the experience, specifically working to reinvent the core gameplay loop with clear goals, motivating challenges, and progression with meaningful rewards. So the craziest thing to me is that EA, the most despicable, bloodthirsty, and unlikable production company in the history of video games, was just gonna let this happen. Like, they were totally on board with it, despite the fact that they've killed off entire development teams for much less than this. And it's not like people were, like, up in arms for an Anthem rework. Like, the game was dead. Nobody was playing it. This got me thinking that there must be something really, really good in this game for EA to go to the trouble to fucking bring Quan Chi in and do some necromancy bullshit to bring this game back from the dead. Like, there must be something really good in this game. I mean, look at EA. They abandoned ship on Battlefield 5 not even 2 years after the game was released. That's fucking nuts. But what, they're gonna go back and fix Anthem? There's something up with this. They're digging this fucking game's corpse up for a reason. They gotta be. Hell, maybe Anthem never even deserved to die. Maybe it was a good game the whole time, and it just didn't get the love and affection and the fan base that it desperately needed. And hey, since I only work 15 hours a week now, I got plenty of time to dig up this game and rip through it and see if there's anything worth saving in it. But there was still, like, some optimism in me. You know, I thought... For a time, I thought, you know, it can't be that bad, right? Like, this is all overblown to a degree, right? Like, it can't be that bad.
He's trying to trace your location. I'm picking up Dominion soldiers in the area.
No, there is no javelin. Get glitched.
I want to do a quick disclaimer before we get any deeper into this video. I am not a video game developer. I am not a writer. I have no professional talent in either of these categories. And if I come across as some sort of narcissistic douchebag, I totally get that. But please, please, for the love of God, do not take this as like a diss to any of the hard-working people that make video games for a living. Making video games are fucking hard, alright? They're really, really fucking hard. Like, the average person who works on, like, AAA games has, like, an 80-hour fucking work week. I would not last 10 seconds as a video game developer, and honestly, even if I was in that position, I probably would have only made the game worse. So just keep that in mind, and go ahead and, like, make yourself something to eat, like some popcorn or, like, a DiGiorno pizza, because we're gonna fucking be here a while. The game opens up on the wrong foot when it shows us a ripoff of the Skyrim teaser trailer for its opening.
The gods who built it vanished, leaving behind their instruments that aimlessly reshaped the land.
They're already here. The Elder Scrolls told of their return.
And explains about how there's a mystical force controlling the planet they live on called the Anthem. The narrator explains that the Anthem is uncontrollable. It can create entire mountain ranges, create cataclysms, spawn in monsters if it wants to, even entire giant beings called Titans. So of course, the people who live on this planet have to build some crazy-ass walls and crazy-ass suits of armor just to protect themselves. The best of these protectors being the freelancers, your stereotypical heroes for hire who swoop in to save the day for the right price. The freelancers pilot high-tech suits of armor called javelins, which are, well, they're literally just Iron Man suits. We transition to these weird-looking AT-ATs and meet our first two characters, Haluk and Faye, but they don't have time to talk. They're on a mission that definitely isn't going to go wrong.
Is what we do. So we're gonna go in there and we're gonna take on whatever unholy beast it spits at us, and we're going to tame that thing together.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So the mission goes wrong, and we start our tutorial for the game. It's at this point that we have our first taste of combat, and it works. I mean, you have a gun, you shoot the gun, the bad guys fall over, you got some cool robo-gadgets you can fire at monsters, and your suit's actually super maneuverable, allowing you to go from sprinting to flying to splashing through water, all in one go. We shoot some scorpions, and then get contacted by our Cypher, Faye, who tells us that the other Cyphers are going into comas because they heard the Anthem. If you don't know what a Cypher is, that's okay, because they don't tell you. Anyway, the cataclysm that they're in becomes too much for everyone to handle, as the freelancers start taking heavy losses. Faye gives the order to retreat, however Haluk is determined to stay. He needs to get to the Cenotaph to shut off the Heart of Rage no matter what. If you don't know what the Cenotaph is, or what the Heart of Rage is, that's also okay. They don't explain it to you. Anyway, we catch up to Haluk just in time to watch one of the worst cutscenes I've ever seen in my life.
This thing is going down. Come on!
I swear to God, every cutscene in this game just looks like action figures fighting each other.
Buzz Lightyear! The world's greatest superhero, now the world's greatest toy! Buzz has it all! Locking wrist communicator!
Glowing Buzz Lightyear!
Karate chop action! Pulsating laser light!
Eventually, Haluk retreats with us, and we are met with another cutscene.
During the failed attempt to silence the Heart of Rage, we lost more than freelancers, more than friends and comrades. We lost the faith of the people we protect. So the freelancers scattered, searching for ways to redeem themselves.
Okay, let me get something straight. So the freelancers went out of their way to try to save the world from a potential world-ending fucking apocalypse, and the fact that they failed just wasn't good enough for the average fucking person on the side of the street. Excuse me? Instead of giving us answers or context or even explaining what the name of the planet we're fucking on is, because we don't even know that yet, we move to a different opening sequence with more tutorials, where we learn who our new Cypher is, Owen. And you're still wondering what a Cypher is, don't worry, they still haven't fucking explained it. We've had two of these motherfuckers come into our group, we don't even know what either of these assholes do. So let's go over what we don't know. We don't know the name of the planet we're on, let alone the country we're in. We don't know what the local government is or how laws work in this realm. We don't know anything about our main character. We don't know their name. We don't know what they look like. We don't know their backstory. Nothing is explained. Nothing has any sort of coherent meaning, and nothing is being told to us in a way that makes sense. I mean, we're like 30 minutes into this game. I just don't even know what the fuck the game's about. You land back at the home base of the freelancers, a place called Fort Tarsus, and you figure out that this game don't run too well, because the marketplace is sub 40 FPS regardless of what graphical setting I set it to. Even though I just got a brand new graphics card that can run Red Dead Redemption 2 on Ultra, not good enough for this game apparently. In fact, let me go ahead and list all of the bugs and glitches that happened to me in my 20 plus hours of playtime. Enemies not loading in, but still being able to shoot you. Sound effects not loading in. Stuttering. Health bars not loading in. The map itself not loading in. A mini-boss not loading in. Also, before I forget, for some reason, every time you load into Fort Tarsis, it turns from a third-person video game to a first-person video game. I have no idea why they do this. It makes the option of customizing your character completely pointless. We only even see your customized character's face 3 times in the whole game. So why even put in that option to begin with? You make your way through the 20 FPS marketplace until you bump into Owen again and are introduced to him proper. Owen congratulates you on a job well done, but is very upfront with you. He says he doesn't want to do this Cypher stuff anymore. He wants to be like you, flying around on the javelins, saving the day, and since I have no idea what ciphers are an hour into the game, I mean, I probably agree with him. Sounds pretty fucking boring. From what I can gather, he sits around in a chair while I do cool stuff. Then you and Owen get contacted by a mysterious woman named Tassin. Her objective for you is to find a scientist who went missing in one of the ruins recently, but before you go on this mission, you're gonna have to pick which Iron Man suit you want to bring out, and there's 4 different types of Iron Mans. There's regular Iron Man, Ninja Iron Man, Wizard Iron Man, and morbidly obese Iron Man. It's at this point that we get to one of the best features of Anthem, the Javelin customization. You immediately have more options than you would think, as not only can you change the paint on any particular part of your machine, but you can change the material that paint is based on. You can get everything from fine leather, to like weird plasticky bits, to aged metal. The only thing this is missing is for you to be able to create your own patterns from scratch, but you can still buy some off the marketplace and then change the colors manually. So you pick your favorite Iron Megazord and go into the open world. So you're dropped into the open world, and honestly this game looks really fucking good. I mean, the world design itself is really cool. There's these giant mountains, huge waterfalls, constant weather effect, which is a shame because the game runs so incredibly poorly that it's completely wasted. It's like looking at a famous painting on an iPod Nano. Anyway, you head over to the ruins where the scientists is holed up in, and you bump into your first new faction of enemies.
What the hell? An ambush! Ugh, the scars, damn scavengers! Multiple signals, they are everywhere!
So it's not bad enough that they're called scars, you know, they have to be doubly stupid by looking like dudes dressed up in bug suits from like Space Party City or something. What the fuck? Also, they spawn into the dungeon by like drilling through the ground like the Underminer. Okay. Also stupid, but well, okay. It's here that we bump into another big roadblock for this game. None of the enemies have any AI at all. Every single enemy's tactic is the exact same. To walk up into your face and shoot. It doesn't matter if they're even like a sniper class or like a cool mage class. They will stop what they're doing and try to shoot you. And that's all anybody ever does. This lack of AI feeds into how comically easy this game is. I mean, every enemy in the game is essentially on suicide watch, walking up to you ready to get killed. And even when they are shooting at you, none of these enemies do enough damage to actually kill you. It doesn't matter whether you put it on normal or hard or extra hard. None of these enemies do damage at all. Like, it's stunning. Like, at one point, I was just sitting around letting these enemies just pepper bullets into me, and I just wouldn't fucking die. Like, it's nuts. At first I thought this was like a Borderlands thing, where the more people who join your party, the more damage the enemies will do. But when I played on multiplayer, it just felt like the exact same. Like, none of these enemies can actually kill you. Like, they're programmed and designed to just be easy targets for you to slaughter with impunity. It just makes me feel sad for the poor guys. They're just shooting at me with pistols while I just beat the living shit out of them. Like, what the fuck? We commit genocide on the Bugs Life cast and then get to meet the scientist himself, who introduces himself as Matthias. The gang heads back to Fort Tarsis, where we're hit with another cutscene, this one explaining what the Heart of Rage is. The cutscene depicts a city called Freemark, at one point home to the entire freelancers.
Until one day, the Dominion arrived on their doorstep. cruel conquerors from the north. The Dominion was led by Dr. Harkin, a man never seen before or after that day.
Okay. So not only is Dr. Harkin one of the fucking worst names for a villain I've ever heard, but you're telling me this dude was never seen before or after, ever, at any point in fucking history? What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense. I get what they're trying to say, like he was unknown to us before this time, and since he dies, he becomes unknown afterwards. But the way it's worded makes me think that this dude was just like bred in a lab and just showed up one day. So Dr. Evil goes into the city and like his goal is to mess around with like some powerful artifact to change reality or something. And of course it goes horribly wrong. He blows up and dies. Which then begs the question, why even have him be a character? Why even give him a name? Dr. Harkin didn't exist before this, walked into a room, touched something, and then fucking died. So he's completely irrelevant. He doesn't matter. Why even give him a name? I get the feeling at this point that this game is going out of its way to craft the worst story possible on purpose. Like, think about it. If you introduce a character who is unknown before he does his big bad thing and then just blows up, you seal all the loose ends. You don't have to worry about coming up with answers to the questions that everyone already has. Like, who was Dr. Harkin? Doesn't matter. What did we want? Doesn't matter. The point of the cutscene and all these characters instead is to hammer home the fact that Dr. Glarpin decided to screw with the Anthem, mess around with some artifacts, and created the Heart of Rage, which is what our characters were, dealing with in the first mission. If that's the case, why didn't we start here? Like, why isn't this the opening cutscene of the game? You know what? Whatever. Let's just keep moving. So Tassin turns out to be like a secret agent or something, and she wants us to help her find her secret agent friend who hasn't reported back in a while. And eventually, we end up finding the secret agent in a cave, being held by the Dominion. Somehow, in our 300-ton giant robot suit, we manage to sneak up on these guys, and we bump into the leader of the Dominion.
I find that pain is no substitute for money. So let's negotiate.
The relics, not for sale.
See, progress. You do hurt.
So, the Monitor, that name sucks, is in search of some special artifact that the world's worst secret agent is in possession of. After he finds it, he vaporizes her and we give chase. Despite being in the exact same room as we are when the chase starts, somehow he just gets away and we're left empty-handed. We return home and Tassin gives us some busy work to do while we wait for our next assignment. You do these side quests for 3 different characters. Our old pal Matthias, a socially awkward security guard named Bryn, and freelancer Yarrow. I would go into more detail about these side quests, but the painful reality is that they are all the exact same. Let me explain. So, regardless of whether you're doing a main quest or a side quest, every single quest is broken into 3 different types. Collect the orb, protect the orb, and find the orb. Collect the orb quests are basically fetch quests. You walk around picking up magical bullshit until the quest is done. Protect the orb missions are you sitting inside of a circle shooting at bad guys to stop them from getting into the circle. These missions are comically easy because once again, the enemy will walk at you slowly until you kill them. Finally, find the orb missions are missions where you walk around with your Tony Stark brand metal detector, trying to find some magical bullshit, most likely an orb to touch. You are going to be doing some variation of one of these 3 things throughout the entire game. If you're lucky, you'll bump into a mini-boss or have to release some prisoners from jail or something, but it never switches up from this formula outside of that. This makes all the quests play the same. It makes them feel really forgettable. Nothing about the gameplay makes any of these quests even remotely enjoyable. And none of the characters you're doing them for are very interesting either. Yarrow is a stereotypical old man who does old man things. Sentinel Bryn's entire personality is just that she's awkward, which gets really stale after the first 5 seconds of talking to her. Matthias isn't that complex either, but hey, it's a looter shooter. Who cares? I mean, the storyline can be shit and the gameplay can be repetitive, but as long as you get some cool loot, the game's still going to be enjoyable. I mean, look at Borderlands. They made a franchise off of that. Well, here's another nail in the Anthem coffin. The loot is trash. All of the guns are the same. When you pick up an assault rifle at level 1, you're going to find that exact same assault rifle at level 5, level 10, level 15, level 20, and at no point will that gun actually change. You're picking up the exact same weapons every time you go on a raid. And there's not even like small minor cosmetic differences or like cool scopes you can attach to them. They're just the exact same guns, regardless of when you get them or who you kill to get them. And by the time you start getting some really cool legendary weapons in the late game, you're not going to want to play the game anymore. So let's recap. The quests you're doing are boring, the people you're doing the quests for are boring, and the guns you are getting from doing the quests are boring. We're probably barely a quarter into this game and I'm already tapped out. Eventually, Tassin contacts us and relays some information. She tells us that our friend, the CRT Monitor, is searching for a way to activate the Cenotaph, that thing that started the Heart of Rage back in the first mission. It's unclear what he wants to do with it, but we know that we have to stop him, because he's a bad guy. And stopping him involves recruiting our 2 old pals from before, Haluk and Faye. For some reason, they're hanging out with a pirate gang, so we gotta go over there and talk to them. Haluk and Faye were working with the pirates in exchange for information regarding the Cenotaph. But before we can smooth things over with them, we're attacked by some bad guys, and Owen decides to jump in and try and save the day.
Owen, what are you doing?
Owen fucks up, and everyone hates him for it. And you're not even given a decision on whether to chastise him or encourage him. Haluk and Faye tell us that the best way to get to the Cenotaph is to use this legendary piece of armor called the Armor of Dawn. This ultra-powerful armor was used by a famous freelancer back in the day. So this is when the game once again finds a whole nother gear of awfulness to shift into, because we have to go into multiplayer to progress the story. And no, it isn't explained why we have to go into multiplayer, but whatever. We need to split up and look for clues to figure out where the location of the actual suit of armor is. Turns out the clues are locked up in some ancient ruins, and the only way to get past them is to complete a series of challenges. On paper, this seems fine, very Indiana Jones. You have to prove that you're worthy or whatever. So, you walk up to the door, and an in-game menu pops up listing the challenges you have to do. The first challenge I saw on one of these doors was to get 50 melee kills. So let's rewind here, let's put this into context. To advance the single-player story, you have to go into multiplayer and get 50 melee kills to advance the story. Arthur! I need you to help me break into this train, Arthur. We're doing a heist. I need your help. Of course, Dutch. What do you need me to do? You need me to steal some dynamite? Maybe interrogate the locals? No, Arthur, nothing like that. I need you to get 50 melee kills, Arthur. I need you to beat 50 people to death and then come back here to help me rob the train. Dutch, I don't understand. Do you want me to kill 50 people and bring their wallets back or their ammunition? No, Arthur. I want you to kill 50 people with your bare hands and then come back to me so we can get on the train. Dutch, what is killing 50 people with my bare hands? How's that gonna help us get on the train? Don't question me, Arthur. Just get me 50 melee kills. Do it for old Uncle Dutch, Arthur. Seriously, what the fuck? Let's zoom out on this again. How the fuck does the fucking door know when I'm gonna kill 50 people? Does it have cameras all over the goddamn planet that can see when I beat the shit out of somebody and relay that information back to the door? And why is that the fucking criteria for getting into the ruin? There's plenty of people who can beat 50 people to fucking death in this sci-fi universe. I'm walking around in a goddamn Gundam wing. Of course I can beat fucking 50 people to death. That's not challenging. Like, remember back in Indiana Jones, where Indy has to pick the right goblet so that the knight can give him the Holy Grail? Like, Indy's trying to prove to the knight that he's a good person. What are we trying to prove to the door? Like, even if I kill 50 people with just punching them or whatever, I'm in a giant robot suit. It's very easy for me to punch things and be totally okay. I'm not some great warrior, and I'm sure as shit not a good person. Running around and punching people with big crab mallet hands kind of sounds more like psychopath behavior than, you know, good guy behavior. So after we do the Modern Warfare 2 Red Tiger Camo Challenge, we figure out the location of the Armor of Dawn, and the Dell monitor calls us up to talk some shit to us. And then we get this line.
Get glitched.
Boo! But hey, now we know where the mythical armor of whatever the fuck is. We can go get that.
Faye, are you there?
Faye can't hear you.
Owen!
Oh dear. Javelin not working, huh? That's a shame. Click.
What the hell are you doing?
Oh, come on, Max. Isn't it obvious?
Uh-oh. Owen's evil now. He's teamed up with the Alienware monitor, and he's gonna give him the armor instead. I guess almost getting yourself killed and just generally being a fuck-up gave him the confidence to turn evil and steal the robo-suit, which he's already proven he doesn't know how to fly. You know what, whatever. We now have a dilemma on our hands. Since Owen stole the mythical armor, we have no way of getting into the Heart of Rage. So, let's do like an audience poll real quick. Which of these three things do you think is the most likely solution to our problem? A, we go find Owen and find a way to disable the armor so we can get it back without destroying it. B, we go after the monitor himself to stop him from getting to the Heart of Rage. I mean, he's gonna have the suit of armor anyway, we'll just go kill him and mission accomplished. Or C, we just make our own armor. You're right, the answer's C! You know? Like, the ancient mythical armor that got made thousands of years ago? Fuck it, we'll just make our own. Except that's not stupid enough. We actually do something even stupider. We figure out that all you really need to have to make the armor cool is this little shield attached to your fucking arm. It's not even like a big one, like a big like paladin shield. No. It's like a fucking little accessory you strap onto your arm. And now apparently we have the mythical power that fucking homeboy had the whole time. What? But it gets worse. So we figure out, we put the Barbie accessory on our robo armor. And we're like, cool, awesome, mission accomplished, let's go do it. But Haluk gets mad because he thinks he's the one who should be flying in there to save the day.
You think I can do it? You so damn sure?
I know you can't. Both of you stop. We don't have time to waste fighting each other.
No. We don't.
I'm sorry, what? The guy who's done nothing all game but sit on the sidelines wants to suddenly fucking take the reins? What? And get this, he gets so butthurt that he flies away to go be grumpy in like the old temple. I'm sorry, what? But then, for some reason, Owen shows up and like saves the day, and he's like, oh no, they made me into a discount Darth Vader, no, and he pulls out the real Barbie accessory and goes, "Oh, your Shield of Dawn will never get you through. Take this one." And he hands us the real Barbie accessory. And then he just flies off. And then he fucking flies off. We never see him for the rest of the game. What the fuck? Oh, so we go to the Heart of Rage, where the Mac monitor is trying to ascend and become God. So we have the only boss fight, like real, not mini boss fight, of the whole game. And it sucks. It's fucking terrible. The monitor has like 30 billion health, and he doesn't do enough damage to kill you, because no one in this fucking game does. So you sit around shooting at his Final Fantasy weak points until eventually Haluk dive bombs his ass and just kills him for us. Like, his health bar is not even at 0 yet. There's like a whole part of this boss fight that just got cut. And there's like, fuck it, just have Haluk kill him. Just fuck it. So we just walk off into the sunset, and that's just the end of the game.
So what's next?
Nothing. You said one job.
No, I didn't.
You did. I was there. You were very clear.
I mean, maybe I want to renegotiate. But more importantly, who's gonna fix my Strider?
But, in an honest to God, after the credits sequence, we get this scene.
I want you to meet Grandmaster Adams.
We found this just inside the eastern border. Killed 2 of our team before we were able to put it down. And I mapped the region on it.
Urgoth. You've heard of them.
Oh no, the Urgoth are back. If you don't know what the Urgoth are, that's okay, because they're not in the game. You read about them in like a codex entry. You don't even see what these things fucking look like at any point in the game. So when Tassin came up and told me this the first time through, I honestly thought I was having like a fucking stroke. Like, I had no idea what the fuck she was talking about. The Urgoths are essentially bad guys. They're just more bad guys. Jesus Christ. So I have like a principle in my head about like how video games should work. A video game should either A, engage you with its gameplay, or B, immerse you in its world. Now, obviously, some of the best games ever made have a habit of doing both of these things. But technically, you only really need to do one. Like, look at Balloons Tower Defense. What's the plot of this game? Why are there a bunch of monkeys throwing darts at balloons on a weird-ass walkway in the middle of fucking nowhere? How does the economy of this world work? Where are all these monkeys coming from? Nobody asks these fucking questions because it doesn't matter. You're not going to be thinking this shit. You're going to be formulating and strategizing and figuring out the best way to place your towers to complete the level. At no point do you ask deep questions because the deep questions don't need to be asked. Even if you put the game on easy mode, you still need to think, you know? When I say challenge, I don't mean necessarily that something's hard, but just that something makes you think and makes you have to actually press buttons on your keyboard to make the game work, you know? It's not some walking simulator. Now look at a game like Crusader Kings. Don't get me wrong, there is a little bit of strategy in Crusader Kings, but it's not anything that's gonna like warp your head or anything. All you have to do is just put your best generals with the most amount of troops and make sure your armies are lined up properly, and you'll basically win any fight you ever get in. And there's not a lot to keep you engaged when these fights are going on. You're sitting at a screen watching a bunch of graphs go up and down. What makes it interesting is the characters you create and the stories they end up telling. I had a really great game recently where I had like a Norse lesbian queen of Norway who couldn't have any kids because she was too busy banging every single chick within a 100-mile radius. The fun of the game isn't blobbing up and taking over a bunch of countries and consolidating them into a super empire. The fun of the game is just the stories you end up telling with these characters and how immersed you get into it. The destination of this game is not nearly as satisfying as the journey you take to get there. And even though you don't have to like excel in either of these categories, some of the best games of all time do a little bit of both. They have a really good story that immerses you with gameplay that challenges you. Think Half-Life 2 or The Witcher 3. Anthem does neither. The storyline is so underdeveloped that it might as well not even be there, and the gameplay is so boring and repetitive that it never actually challenges you to do anything. You could do the exact same style of play from level 1 to level 20. It's honestly one of the worst experiences I've had with a video game in my entire life. Which is harsh. It's really harsh, but I don't really have another way of explaining how I feel about this game. It's just so devoid of anything engaging that when I bump into people in multiplayer who are like level 30, I think they gotta be logging in on like Xbox 360s and like insane asylums. Like, alright Jimmy, you got 5 minutes without the straight fest, what do you want to play? Anthem! Give me Anthem! Like, I don't know how else anyone can have any fun with this game. I just don't know. So, did Anthem deserve to die? Yeah, it did. It's a game that I think has a nice, cool idea behind it, but just fails on every single level in the execution department. But hey, you never know. Maybe the necromancers over at BioWare will be able to rebuild this game from the dead and give it a gratifying gameplay loop that'll make it worth playing. You know, I really think that if they managed to like make this game playable, it would be like the underdog comeback story of the year. And hey, who doesn't like a good underdog? So that's it. That's the end of the video. I don't know how to end videos.